Hello everybody, Captain Marty here on Tuesday, August the 19th, and we are getting a lot of people out of Hatteras and off the Outer Banks. As inconvenient as that might be, it's for the best. It gets a whole lot more inconvenient when you're stuck down there and the road washes out, trust me. So we did have a surprisingly good spell of offshore fishing, and I'm going to tell you about all that. Yesterday it all happened, and I'll give you an idea what's going on, and I'll be right back.
What could possibly be more fun than watching a bottlenose dolphin swim and play in the water right beside you? Hop aboard Harbor Star Dolphin Tours at Wanchese Marina and witness this remarkable animal up close. The Harbor Star is a spacious 50-foot vessel with a wide, shady canopy that runs 2-hour trips multiple times a day, including a breathtaking sunset cruise. To book your tour, go online to wanchesemarina.com and click Harbor Star Dolphin Tours. See the majestic bottlenose dolphin up close with Harbor Star Dolphin Tours.
Surrounded by water, Currituck and the people of the Outer Banks have been shaped and defined by its rich and coastal maritime history. The Currituck Maritime Museum tells the story of Currituck's boat-building forefathers, their remarkable craft, and the legacy they left behind on how to live life and thrive on the waters of the Outer Banks. Discover the Maritime Museum in historic Corolla Park, across the street from the Currituck Beach Lighthouse, and visit us online at currituckmaritimemuseum.com. Be a part of the local history at the Currituck Maritime Museum.
Both of our fleets had really good offshore fishing, good mahi or dolphin, almost entirely bailers, 3 to 8 pounders, but almost everybody had a limit of them, a limit being something close to 60 fish. In Hatteras, it was good mahi fishing. They had some sailfish in their catches, and they had a few blackfin tuna. And one thing of interest, their inshore or nearshore fleet had the traditional good Spanish mackerel and bluefish, but they also had some dolphin and blackfin tuna right in close to the beach. That's a real bonus, and that does happen this time of year. As the water warms up, those fish are going in there looking for something to eat, and the shallower it is, the less room there is for the bait fish to escape. So that's kind of what that's going on. The Oregon Inlet Fleet also had a really good day on the meat fishing. I saw my old boat, which at one time was the Sea Breeze, is now the Outrigger with Captain Erin Wright. Had a hog killing, literally. He had 5 or 6 tuna, a limited dolphin or mahi, a blue marlin, and a couple of whites or sails. He had a little bit of everything. Really good. And, you know, some people are saying, what about this big sea? Well, they got in yesterday without any problem. We had boats out of Rudy Inlet, Virginia Beach as well. And the marlin bite was pretty good in the fleet. Not quite as good as it was in the tournament when everybody was chasing marlin. But it was a great day of offshore fishing. In close to the beach, triggerfish, sea bass, and false albacore. Also a few mahi or dolphin for that inshore fleet as well. There are a lot of white marlin north of us, and my goodness, Ocean City, Rudy Inlet, they're catching 20 or 30 per boat per day in some cases. That's old-timey, really good white marlin fishing, all released, so that's all good. What I'm hoping, we had our tournament, we got it in, and the weather was not an issue at Pirates Cove. The next tournament is this week at Rudy Inlet, and they may not be so lucky, although I'm hoping they can figure out a plan. All these tournaments are week after week, and you can't just always move it a few days because you'll overlap another tournament up the coast as these tournaments march north. So hopefully they'll get it in. No tournament director likes to have to deal with that, but they will do what's makes sense and what's safe for their participant. Pier and surf fishing is just fairly generic for this time of year, although I saw some black drum and a couple of really big pompano on Jeanette's Pier yesterday. Most of our piers are catching some bluefish, some black drum, a few sea mullet, spot, and croakers, and a pompano. And in the surf, it's kind of the same thing. All summer long, we've had more pompano really down on Hatteras Island in the Avon area, so that continues, but surf and pier fishing is pretty much identical this time of year, and it is relaxing. It's no stress like it gets when you have big drum out on the end of the pier, and there's a lot to that and a lot of territory grabbing and things like that. This is relaxing time of the year to take the kids out and introduce them to fishing. If you're on the pier, no license is required. If you're fishing in the surf, you do have to buy a license, but you can do that really inexpensively, and there are plenty of places to go do it that are not on the ocean front. We'll talk about a little bit more about that in just a minute after the break. And I do thank Tony Lombardi from walkingangler.com. Nice website that goes into a lot of fishing education and tells you a lot about where you can go on the Outer Banks without a boat. That's why it's called walkingangler.com. All right, we'll take a break. I'll be right back to give you the backcountry report in just a moment.
When it comes to general maintenance or major modifications on your diesel vehicle, look no further than Wanchi's Off-Road Diesel Performance in Kill Devil Hills. Master mechanic Ryan Walker developed the plan for having his own auto shop over 20 years ago, and today he owns the premium diesel performance powerhouse of the Outer Banks. To have him and his crew take a look under your hood, give him a call today at 252-715-0025 or find him on social media. Wanchi's Off-Road Diesel Performance, the diesel performance powerhouse of the Outer Banks.
All right, so in the backcountry, the Pamlico Sound is the one we've been talking about mostly. Although there is some fishing going on in the other sounds too, and it's a little bit less, you hear a little bit less about that, but the Pamlico, the biggest of our sounds, is the one where the drum bite continues to be very good. All size ranges of red drum are being caught. The guys fishing from the Hatteras side, in other words, back of Hatteras, are going out there and they're catching a lot of slot-sized drum. And the guys going from, let's just say, south of Roanoke Island, back of Oregon Inlet, they're catching some bigger drum, especially at night. And the guys over on the western Pamlico out of Swan Quarter and Englehard over near my hometown are doing good on the big drum as well. But there is some other things going on. There's some black drum. The trout bite has been consistent all summer long, thankfully. So we're happy about that. And there's some bluefish. The bluefish, again, we're reviewing kind of a summer review here. The bluefishing has been good, and they also are in most every size range. The Taylor blues have been plentiful at times, and we've even had some 11 and 12 pounders. And the thing is, they don't get very much good press when people are catching 40-inch drum. But I'm going to tell you something. I would love someone to say, Marty, would you like half a dozen Taylor bluefish? If they were iced down and kept cold, you bet I'd like to have them. I'd rather eat a Taylor bluefish, fillet it, skin it, and make sure it's been kept cold and on ice. I'd rather have, now I'll get some grief over this statement, but I'd rather have that than a speckled trout. And a lot of locals would. So anyway, that's just a matter of taste. So that's what's going on our fishing run. Quite a bit of stuff, although we're going to see it hard to get our clients to our boats on Hatteras Island and Ocracoke because they've been sent home, rightfully so. But we'll see how it goes. You may be able to do a little bit of fishing over Englehard Way. You might be able to do some inshore fishing out of Oregon Inlet, around Oregon Inlet, if I haven't seen what they're doing yet for today. But if they don't make the northern beaches evacuate, you probably can find an opportunity to go fishing somewhere. And I hope you do. If not, it's better to be safe than sorry, and you'll come back and fish another day. I do hope that you give it a try. Pier fishing would be a really good thing to do as an alternative. Going to be a lot of swell. You might have a little trouble holding bottom, but at least you'll be fishing. So have a great day. May the good Lord bless you.